all started just as a fake deal, just a meme, fake meme, didn't mean anything. And if you're following cryptocurrency at all, you'll see that this picked up momentum like no other. It has just gone off the charts, right? Well, in this business, to be successful, you really need to pick up momentum. Now, I'm not talking about obviously at that level. Great. If we had at that level, we all be a place for mom. But I'm talking about just on a local level, you've got to pick up momentum. And I was just sharing with somebody the other day, one of the students, I can't remember who it was now. I talked to a lot of you guys, different, some of you text me, some of you call me. And I got talking the other day with someone, and it's like, man, they got a couple move-ins, and it was fantastic. And what I did was I encouraged them. I said, what's next? And they kind of paused. And I said, well, let me tell you a quick story. This happened about 2 years ago. I was at a community, and the marketing director out of the blue says, how was your April, the month of April of that year? I think it was 2019. I said, not too bad. She goes, man, this other referral agency killed it. Oh my God, they're off the charts. And so I started thinking, man, that doesn't seem like them, but maybe they had a great month. That's awesome. And she goes, well, how was your May? Because we were talking, I think, like June or July. I said, May? I said, pretty good too. She goes, they didn't do anything. I said, wait a minute. They had a rock star of an April, but they didn't do anything in May. Something's not adding up. And she goes, I don't know. I said, it sounds like him and his wife went on vacation for 2 weeks. And she goes, you know what, kind of think of, they did go out of town for a couple weeks. I said, exactly. They exhausted their pipeline. And then the following month, after they went away for 2 weeks, they didn't have anything in the pipeline. Then May comes around, they go, holy crap, what happened? Now they got to start from zero. So the reason I tell you the Doge thing about momentum is when momentum happens, and it will happen if you're persistent in this business, it will happen. And when it happens, ride the wave, embrace the moment. Don't say, woo, thank goodness I got my 4 for the month or my 8 for the month. Whatever your goal is, right? Whatever your personal quota is, you say, I got it, fantastic. No, you've got to get it and then press through to get more. And the reason you do that, obviously, to help more people, but from a business standpoint, you've got to ride the wave of momentum. And if you do, you will go to a whole nother level. So with me personally, played sports back in the day, way back in the day, right? I'm 52, so it wasn't like yesterday, but always super competitive. And then when I played, I'd always critique myself, right? Always. But when I had a really good game, I still critique myself, want to get better. Had a bad game, did the same thing, hopefully got better. In our business, we're going to have bad months and good months. Well, we need to get better from both. But what the tendency is, and I saw this a lot with marketing directors, I've seen this in sales, I've heard about it, obviously, in that story I just told you. But with referral agents, they have a really good month is almost more detrimental than having a bad month. Now, you might be thinking, well, wait a minute. Now, if you had a really good month, there's a lot of money, so maybe it's able to carry over to the next month. Yeah, true. That could be. But it was more detrimental because they tasted victory, tasted what it was like to be at a certain level, and then went in relaxation mode. They just kind of chilled. And I'm telling you, just from the start of what I'm going to tell you tonight, you have got to be committed to going to the next level. And then when you get that level, go to the next level and be committed. I know it's easier said than done, but it's that kind of tenacity, that kind of mindset. It's that whole personal drive that you have. And I don't, like I told you before in some of these coaching calls, I don't compete against my competitors. I compete against myself. There's things that I do that I know my competitors don't do. And I'll go over a little bit of that tonight, how to be successful in this industry. So I use that as a kind of a platform, a kind of a launching pad, if you will. How to be successful is you've got to establish momentum, right? Once you establish momentum, you need to start, and I want to ask you this before I tell you, what does a multi-million-dollar company look like? Just give me some things right off the top of your head. When you think of a multi-million-dollar company, what do you think of? Don't give me names, just like characteristics.
Organized.
Organized. Okay. What else?
In front of everybody.
In front of everybody.
On what's that? Talked about a lot.
Yeah, talked about a lot, good and bad, but still talked about a lot, right? Multi-million-dollar company.
Lots of marketing and advertising.
Yeah, marketing, advertising.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's probably, if we sat down, and this is not the purpose of tonight's talk, but if we sat down for about 20 minutes and just talked about it and thought about it long enough, we'd come up probably with 20, 30 different characteristics of a multi-million-dollar company, because we've all seen them, right? We all know they're out there, and we've all encountered some. Maybe we work for some. So what I encourage you to do is to act like a multi-million-dollar company. Now, what does that mean? You might be immediately thinking, I don't have the resources the multi-million-dollar company has. I don't have the employees and the money and the building and blah, 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 all the things we don't have. It's mindset. And what I mean for you is I want you to be able to create your weekly schedule. And you should do this, and what I do is on Sunday. You can do it anytime you want. I'm not trying to get you to mimic me, but you should know what your week looks like for that whole week, right? At least a really good idea, things carved out. You should dictate your schedule and not your schedule controlling you. And oftentimes what happens is with referral agents, because I know some of them, is they just kind of get up in the morning and woohoo, all right, let's go back to the week. Hope I get some leads, make a few calls, blah, 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 blah. You got to be more intentional about that. Have a mindset that you're a multi-million-dollar company, at least act like it. And so you are moving in a different way, right? For instance, if I have somebody, I give an example. I think I just told Bill and Fadis yesterday. This is one of the examples, and I've had countless others where I've had marketing directors reach out to me, and they want me to go to a function of their community. They want me to go by and do, and I don't mind doing any of those stuff. Okay, I just don't. But as you get to know me, I don't do hardly any of it. So it's not that I don't think it's important for some. I just don't feel like it's important for me. I've been to a few, but very few. And so most of them I just don't go to. I think most multi-million-dollar companies probably wouldn't go to those small events. They just wouldn't, you know, and it's not a bad thing. Now, again, because I know some people that are very successful in a lot of different arenas of business and, you know, this industry or another industry, and they go to every function out there. Okay. And that might just be the way you're wired. I love hanging out with people. I love talking to people, but going to functions like this is not me. So I guard my time. And so I dictate my schedule. And what I want to do is I'm always looking for making sure, because this has not always been my life, right? I always make sure that, man, I've got freedom in my life. Freedom financially, freedom with location, which I'm not quite all there yet, even though my wife and I have been talking about certain things. Freedom, what I mean by location is just to travel, do certain things. We've got the money to do some of those things, but because I'm locked into certain other things, prevents us doing the things that we want to do. You know what I mean? It just prevents us from doing the very thing that we want to be free and go do. So I want you to think like a multi-million-dollar company. Okay, that'd be number one. And this is, okay, let me go back to the company here. So think about a multi-million-dollar company. I think one of the characteristics I think of is they solve problems, right? If I were to ask you guys, are you looking for leads? I think all of you would say yes. And you do it in various different ways. Social media, marketing, flyers, Facebook Live. You all do it in various different ways. And they're all good, right? Would it shock you to say that I don't look for leads? I don't look for leads. I don't. What I look for, I know it's a shocker, right? What I look for is problems. Looking for problems will cause you to be a problem solver, hopefully, because that'll teach you along the way. As every problem you have, there's a solution to that problem. It's a mindset of a multi-million-dollar company. They believe there's a solution to every problem. So I'm going to think that way. I'm not going to look for leads. I'm going to look for problems. And if I solve more problems, I'm going to get more leads. You become someone that can provide a solution. See, everybody in this industry is looking for a lead. That's why everybody goes to, which I do, and I was with Bill and Faye the other day, and we did this very thing. But that's why everybody goes to skilled nursing, hospitals, they knock on doors, blah, blah, blah. It's my brochure, it's what we do. Everybody's looking for a lead. But if we have the mindset of a multi-million-dollar company and say, I'm not looking for a lead, I am looking to solve a problem. And when you become a problem solver, you add value to the person you're speaking to or to the organization, whoever you is, right? So you become a problem solver. So how can you solve problems? Okay, there's a lot of different ways, right? I'll give you a couple quick examples. One, I've got on my desk 2 different leads. I can't show you the one real quick. There's a name here, okay? But I don't like showing off seniors' names. But I've got a file here. If this person is bedridden, well, not bedridden, sorry, different person. This person here is a minimum of 2-person assist, but definitely requires a Hoyer lift. So it's a Hoyer lift with 2 people, lifting this. He's a pretty heavy guy. Number 1. Number 2, he smokes every 5 minutes. So, and this is a $4,500 lead. If I can find a community that would permit smoking every 5 minutes with not a problem, right? I'm not talking about like a smoke break, like, twice a day. I'm talking about this guy's like, as much as we breathe, he's smoking. Okay. So he smokes all the time. And then a Hoyer lift, which a lot of your communities don't do because it's a lot of strain on the caregivers. Injury can happen. There's a training component. There's a lot of different reasons why they don't do it. Even they used to do it maybe, and they had a bad experience. Someone got hurt, whatever, and they don't do it anymore. So that's the problem. I got this lead, but that's the problem. So now I need to think like a multi-million-dollar company and be a problem solver. And now, can I solve that? A lot of the communities around here don't do the Hoyer lift. There's some that do, but not a lot. And most of them don't like the idea of someone smoking every 5 minutes. They just don't. Because they know eventually this resident's probably going to try to sneak one in the community. It's raining outside. It's California. It's 110 degrees that day. Doesn't want to go outside, or, the caregivers can't get to him fast enough because of Hoyer lift. So he just lights one up in the room. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a lot of reasons why they don't do it. But I got to solve that problem. And if I can solve that problem, then I've got it. Okay? Got another one on my desk. I'm serious. Right here. Bam. Chicken scratch. Chicken scratch, because I have helped this person before. I've got their file over in that file cabinet. I placed her mom last summer. So she calls me out of the blue. And she goes, this is, I think, 4 or 5 days ago. She goes, man, I was wondering if you can help me out. You've helped me before last summer with my mom. I'm looking for a really good residential care home. So I pull up her file because I can't remember everybody. And I pull it up and I'm thinking, dang, I just put her mom in one of the best, I think, care homes in the area. So what is wrong with that care home? So I looked at her file and I began dialoguing, talking with her a little bit about it. She goes, oh, no. The care's great. The owners are wonderful. Mom loves it. I'm thinking, I'm thinking to myself, why are we having this conversation if all that's true? And she goes, the only problem I have is that care home is 15 minutes from my house. So didn't you know that last summer? But okay, that's all right. So, but I think, okay, so what are you asking? She goes, I want a care home that's just as good, if not better, 5 minutes from my house. I know all the care homes, and there's not one that's as good as 5 minutes. Now, there's some that are really good, but the ones around where she lives within 5 minutes are probably the house is like 25 years old, something like that. That's not old, I know, but I mean, her mom is in a fantastic care home. So I told her, I said, okay. I said, well, there's one nearby. And I showed her pictures, video, and she said, okay, I'll give it a shot. Lined up the tour. She got back to me. She goes, it's not what I'm looking for. I need something newer than that. And I'm thinking, dude, so can I solve that problem? I don't know. But if I do, this right here is $4,500. That's a $4,500. So I've got this one and this one. I've got $9,000 sitting on my desk staring at me. And Faye.
Matt, what if you got the smoker to take up e-cigarettes? What's the present?
I know. I don't know if I can or not. That's a great suggestion. Most of them are, right? Most of them are older. So he's probably like my granddad. My granddad since passed away, but my granddad used to smoke Pall Mall cigarettes. I don't know much about smoking, but the Pall Malls, I guess, they had no filters. It always looked like my granddad was smoking a joint to me. It looked like, it didn't look like a cigarette. It looked like it was something rolled up kind of thing, right? But it was Pall Mall cigarettes. And that guy, he'd smoke that thing all day long. So I think this guy is very much like my granddad used to be. And so I don't know if he would go for that or not. That's a great suggestion. It's possible.
If he understood that was what's keeping him from happiness.
Yeah, exactly.
To change the habit.
Yeah.
The type of habit.
That's right. I loved it, Faye. I may have to run that by him, see what he thinks. I actually run it by his wife, and then she'll relay it to him, and I'll probably hear about it a couple of days later. But anyway, $9,000 sitting on my desk. What am I going to do with it? Again, multi-level company. I'm not multi-million-dollar company. That's how many times I get hit by multi-level companies. It comes out of bounds, right? Out of your heart and the mouth speaks. So it's there. But to think like that size of a company, someone is moving and shaking in their industry, solve problems. And so what I did at the very beginning of my company, how I did it at the beginning. Now I knew going into this was a huge risk. And we're going to talk about risk in a second. But I immediately thought, what would make me different? What would make me unique than the other referral agents? Now, I didn't call the other referral agents. I didn't go around doing what they call in the industry. It's kind of like a CMA. I know that's not a cost market approach. It's like a comparative market analysis, I think they call it. It's just all they're doing is just going around getting room rents and the care rate and how many bedrooms they have, all that good stuff. I didn't do any of that stuff. I just thought, okay, what I know about referral agencies, they do this. They all provide a list. They all do certain things. I'm going to do it differently. That's going to set Stafford Senior Solutions up to be a little bit different. First thing I did was